Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Comic Workshop. Today we are going to be looking at Sean Murphy, and this is going to be kind of a short episode, but we're going to spend a little bit more time on each one of these pages it is that I found. And yeah, so this guy is a huge inspiration to me. For those that are new to the channel or that are not aware, I am a comic artist, and I've got some comics that you can check out in the link in the description box. My comics are called the Philip K. Dick Files. And so I'm always looking at other artists and trying to see what it is that I can notice about their process and the way that they do things in order just to learn myself. And these videos are a way of me sharing what I learn. The thing that pops out to me immediately when I look at his work is how stylish he is. He has a very strong command of the fundamentals and a very strong command of how to do black and white. Um, and I think that a lot of that comes down to understanding understanding form, right? Like I assume he drew all of this. I assume he drew the background and these two characters up here and the character down here on the bottom. And yeah, it's just amazing to me that he's able to get the perspective as good as he's able to get it, and he's able to line up everything in a way that it looks visually appealing, but it isn't too cluttered, right? Um, there's this kind of hierarchy that's going on with these different panels, right? So you have like this kind of very vertical element that is, I don't know, I have my tablet with me right now. Um, but you can see there's a lot of vertical lines in terms of like the buildings and then the shapes and the different lines and things like that that are going on in the environment, which contrast against the more vertical lines in the motorcycle and the more curved lines of the motorcycle and the more curved lines of the figure himself. And yeah, so you can see some different techniques going on here. I'm curious if he does work traditional or if he does it digital, because I imagine doing these screen tones would be a pain in the ass traditionally. But it's not clear to me right off the top of my head because there seems to be some, the mark making feels very traditional. If he's doing this stuff digitally, it feels very traditional. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one. I'm curious what this is from. I I don't read a whole lot of books right now. Most of my time is spent working. So, but when I look at this, I mean, the first thing it is that I notice is again, you have this kind of signature style of his that is very unique in the way it is that he draws. Like he's got this kind of smoke that's kind of swooping out of his mouth and is circling around him, right? It's going out here and then it's going back and then it's kind of doing like this figure eight and going back to the character. I guess my first impression is this Constantine? Is that who this character is? But again, there's just an absurd amount of detail in this image, but it also feels very abstract, right? Like you've got the cityscape here in the reflection of the window, and you've got this halftone that he lays over the figure's coat, which could be the reason why his stuff looks maybe more detailed than it actually is. He's using the texture of these halftones as a way to help him describe the forms, and then he's just coming in with a heavy black with everything else. And that's actually what it looks like to me. It looks like most of the characters are black and white, and then the gray tones, the halftones, are dropped into to separate the characters, right? So we just got a few more here. Yeah, this is another great page. I love the flow of this whole thing, right? You've got what I assume is Constantine here. He's hanging out in a morgue and and I guess he punches the back of the of one of the places where they keep the dead body, and then this guy comes walking in with a dead body, and so I'm guessing that's what he was doing was he was picking which one he was actually going to have this mortician bring out of one of these cases. So yeah, I mean the stark use of black and the way that the figure merges into the black shadows here, I think that's just brilliant. It's really, really good. And the storytelling element of it is hilarious. I love the expression on this guy's face here. I think this is hilarious. And it feels very stylish. It feels like the story and the characters fit very well together. Yeah, here's another shot. I don't think this is from Constantine. I think this is from something else. But there's this good dynamic between these different characters. This kind of interplay between these different characters. And it's interesting whenever you see this stuff without the dialogue because it's not clear to me whether there is dialogue, but it almost doesn't really matter because so much of the storytelling that's going on here can just be carried by the images themselves. And to me, that's what it is that I appreciate. I appreciate stuff that is just purely the visual storytelling, right? And then we'll go ahead and we'll end it on this. It looks like a cover image that he did. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things going on here that I think that anybody who's trying to be a illustrator should really look at his work. Anybody who's a comic artist should really look at his work because you can see a lot of different things going on here, right? You've got this big giant figure that's kind of eclipsing these smaller figures, and this figure is I guess you could say in the center or it's off center. And then we also have this kind of cross-like shape back here. It's also off center. And then these leading lines that are taking us through the whole thing and then taking us here and bringing us back here, right? So it's very clever the way it is that he organizes all this stuff. He's really a master of being able to organize a lot of detail. That the more it is that you look at it, the more you see. So, anyways, guys, like I said before, if you're interested in checking out my comics, you can check out the link in the description below on the philipkdickfiles.com or the Gumroad link, where you can get some of the comic stuff. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching my channel. I hope this is of some help to people that are doing comic books. And I'm going to continue to do these weekly. So thank you for your time and take care.